Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2. Right now we have a bunch of wars going on in Europe over the fate of what's potentially Russia. It's probably going to happen since Russia's completely occupied and Lancaster is having some French issues. And Sweden's not doing too well either. It's hard to tell here, but a lot of this is occupied by France. I think there's a war going on in China. And I think there was a war going on over here, yeah. Finland's killifying more people. We're doing okay. We lost some prestige from not getting into that war. Which we probably would have sided with the wrong people in. So that's good. It's better to avoid the conflict than to be on the losing side in a war. So one of the things I want to do here is finish up medicine and start thinking about what I want to do for my next tech. I could do military stuff and try to unlock guards and things like that. I could do some business stuff and things like that. I have military industrial complex, which has no bonus or penalty for commerce, but a penalty to both navy and culture research. Which means I probably want to switch to culture tech, the traditional academia, eventually to negate that culture tech penalty, because those are pretty important techs. But I do get a bonus to army and industry research, which means I want to think about that while we're still doing that. So let's go into our diplomacy and work with Bavaria, because we will eventually be doing military stuff. But right now we have to deal with problems with our economy in that we have just the basic foundations of economy. Actually, we are number 4 in industry power. I just noticed that. So we're probably okay. But I do want to unlock things like engineers and guards and stuff like that before I really start fighting anything, because that'll minimize our losses. So I'm talking to Bavaria now, because they seem to be getting the upper hand in this war with Prussia. One of the things that's going to happen is that the balance of power is going to shift, and my budget's going to go into the turlet, but whatever. There we go. Russian Empire acquires all states with core provinces. So they're here now. This is Galich, I think? Yeah. And then part of Karelia and Arkhangelsk, it looks like. Yep. So looks like Smolensk can't form Russia since Russia got kicked out. Honestly, that's one of the dangers of leaving cores there, is that, well, they can do things like that, but that's the game. They can do that anyway. They can unify people by force. They can do all kinds of stuff. And now that they're in France's sphere, it's unlikely anybody's going to attack them without forcing them out of France's sphere. And it actually might be that Smolensk will become a great power. And even though Lancaster lost a lot of prestige there, they still have double France's industry power. So there's still no way that France is going to be number 1. And Prussia has lost everything, so if I remember correctly, they're actually involved in another war. What? Oh, this is that. Okay. Okay. I thought they started another one. And they were trying to liberate Galich, but they'll probably have to wipe peace out of this since they don't own that anymore. And, oh yeah, Bohemia, okay. Which they did. So now that my economy is completely tanked, they're getting none of their needs. That's honestly pretty bad. I have no idea why this always happens when I reload. Okay. Just trying to restabilize things a little bit. Honestly, I could probably be safe keeping the tariffs at 25% and not having to worry about it. it does seem to help building things to have the tariffs lower. Because we're not producing a lot of stuff. Get out of here, Brunei. And I got a million pounds right now, so I'm not too worried about these smaller amounts. Life without parole. I thought we already had this. Ooh. Don't want to lose prestige, but I guess I have to. I don't want to side with the fat cats. Okay, so we have an intensive farming. This is in Baghdad, actually. Landowners throughout Baghdad have begun a program of intensive farming, attempting to maximize production of land. There are those who criticize these attempts, however, claiming this could lead to exhaustion of the soil and disaster for the locals. They are asking for the Persian government to intervene. Now, this is an event that has a follow-up, I believe, that can be pretty bad. So let's see who it's farming over here. This is sulfur, grain, and opium. So, since the majority of it actually is grain. Farming efficiency until 1849. Now, one of the things I realized is that I ended this session right before an election. I'm going to pick this as unwise, because I don't remember what the follow-up events possibilities are. There we go. Now our budget's starting to stabilize. Let's hope we get a good election. Orderly election! Hey, cool! You lose a bunch of prestige if you get a violent one or something like that. Persian election is underway, so far has proceeded smoothly. Okay. Bing's expanding its war with Zhao to acquire Guangxi, or however you pronounce that. So, we're gonna do election stuff now. My favorite. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I like being a democracy. It's very hard to skew your demographics otherwise. If you want to do something else, you basically just have to piss people off to instigate anything to happen. Okay, so we can now talk to Bavaria again. Of neutral relations now. Who are we focusing on for that? Right, the Zoropope. Yes, I left the Turkish things. They're actually Turkish culture, as you can see here. Because, well, I did change a bunch of the pops in EU4, a bunch of the cultures in EU4. I just thought it was fair to leave everything the same, considering that it's basically normal territory stuff for Turkey, and I figured, you know, the only people who were Turkish were over here, which didn't make any sense, and it would take a lot longer for me to do that. Honestly, it took me long enough to do what little pop changes I did. So 20% tariffs is probably okay. Engravings causing ravings. In order to emphasize the multi-religious makeup of Loristan, in the law's relationship with the divine, the courthouse in Loristan has taken upon itself to install a series of reliefs along its walls, detailing great longbringers from various faiths. The placement of such large and overly religious carvings has caused a fiery debate to break out between those advocating separation of religion and state, and those who applaud the addition of pluralistic religious ideals to the courthouse. With whom shall we side? Well, there's absolutely no reason to side with anybody who doesn't want religion, because all of our religious dudes like religion. So later on we'll probably start getting some atheists and stuff like that, but right now there's no reason to start skewing towards them. Should all call religion to the bench. Moralism actually is a pretty big issue. But this will skew it more towards pluralism. Ooh, that is bad. And this is kind of random chance. See, the thing I want here is Zoroastrian. I think we'll be fine doing that. I was thinking taking the chance might be good, but that actually does skew it. Since we have an orderly election, we can afford to take a few chances there. That's probably what people are talking about, me overthinking the game. But it really does matter if I want to keep everything in line. In the workshops and mills of our country, the free Persian people make daily discoveries and advances. The advancement of science is intimately tied to the free exchange of ideas. Nowhere is the exchange freer than in the Persian Republic. Our liberty makes us a powerhouse in technological progress. You can say hard work and toil, get 1,826 research points, which would put us about halfway on medicine. Our other nations sing our praises. Ooh. Which gives us half as much research points, but it gives us some prestige. Prestige is kind of hard to get. I'm going to take the prestige. So yeah, we're now number 7 instead of number 8. Prestige. Bart's fight turned bloody. This is the fights with the people. This is Isfahan. Okay. Still pretty divided here. So, jingoism is actually really good. I mean, it's kind of weird in this game that reactionaries are so good. Jingoism is good. State capitalism is good. State capitalism lets you straight build properties. Like, you can build factories and whatever, it doesn't matter. Everything's more expensive for your pops to do it, but they'll still do it anyway. But nobody likes jingoism, so we can't focus that. Justice demands a retrial. Anti-military? Nobody supports that. Huh. We don't want that. And that's terrible, too. Pretty much everything here is terrible. I would actually like more of a straight jingoism boost than that to take away from that. It's kind of tough. You know? Pro-military is what we like. Support pacifism, get 5. Oh, this is the worst option for us to take right now. Okay, so justice demands a retrial, I guess. The law is the law. Surge of liberalism. Boo. Got to do this again. Oh, this is part of our... Looks like the liberals have a talent in their current election to find the right words, when and where they are needed. All over the Persian Republic, their new agenda has persuaded a lot of people to join their cause. Well, we're number 3 in industrial power, and we haven't even finished our railroads yet. The Immortals declared war on Actibi. We could probably start consolidating our armies. Speaking of armies, there are some things I wanted to do. Let's see. I want to get rid of these infantry armies. Because they're kind of garbage. The Lancasters sitting around in our area. Maybe you wouldn't have lost that war if you weren't doing that. And a lot of our big armies are actually infantry armies. Yeah. Okay. What else? These are regulars and stuff. If I wanted infantry, I would use my non-accepted culture pops to do that, which would actually have a use for those. Okay, now let's rebuild our... that actually put us down quite a bit. Actually, I might build some infantry, but I gotta make sure I build 3, 4, 5. I replaced mostly these guys. I'll make 1 cannon. The rest of these things are not useful since I can't get any of that. I'm probably better off building these as cavalry, but we can use those if we actually need them later. Okay. Oh, because I was spending money on the army, right? Problems from the pulpit. Into Briz. Prominent pacifist preachers began arguing against the government taking any steps to bolster our nation's military. He's decried any type of military action aside from self-defense. It could silence him permanently, but such a move could spread unrest in the state and infuriate the clergy. The fact that people are, like, getting skewed towards the Republican Party is really boosting the pacifism, because if you remember last time we had this, I managed to skew people away from it. And I think we actually had one such event into Briz, but it could have been something else. So, as a matter of fact, a lot of people are anti-military, which is anarcho-liberals, which is really bad. He can't preach from the grave. We'll counter him with a pro-war campaign. Okay, we're starting to build our factories. Charter Society again. Not gonna do that. I'm gonna... Some friggin' reactionaries, man. So we got about 300 days before our first railroads start coming up. Minority vote. Minorities in Luristan have gradually lifted themselves out of poverty and into the middle class. They've started their own sports organizations, newspapers, and religious centers. A particularly racist and sharply divided town in Luristan has voted in a series of laws that effectively bans a large minority's most important cultural festival. The laws probably would not have garnered enough votes if cultural minorities were allowed to vote. The debate about spreading full citizenship to minorities is raging among the state's newspapers, and those in favor of full citizenship seem to be getting the most sympathy. To stop this movement, we can stage an arson attack on the racist town's city hall and make it look like the minority was behind it. This is the only option? What? I do not approve. It's like nobody wants residency. This is good. Everybody hates those jerks there. This is Luristan, so pretty much apparently the Federalists are pretty... That's right, we would rather use legislation to keep that bay. We should let the debate take its course. 30% more in favor of full citizenship, which would skew everything back to the other guys. Only organize some... Framing an arson attack on the minorities, brilliant! Let's use legislation. So apparently we can do another reform. Open immigration. So notice here, it adds to the radicalism of the voters' rights. So I should probably do that first. Which is these up here. Wealth voting, probably. Oh, but causes bill acquisition speed. I don't really care about that. 13% of the population. Let's actually look to see who wants what, population-wise. So these people are voting yes because this is something that our conservatives and liberals want. Uh, state-controlled trade unions. This is probably the least good right now. So what's the difference between voters' rights and suffrage? I don't know. Voting system, I guess? Okay. It looks like quite a few people want this. So we'll go ahead and do that. This puts our party popularity higher, which is good. It's one of the reasons you want to do those reforms during the elections. Okay. No. Oops. Zhao's getting their head kicked in. Apparently they're war with Shan too. Minorities under attack. Teenage girls gotten beaten and raped in a cultural minorities section of the city in Pashtunistan. Since the authorities have no leads, members of our primary culture have taken it upon themselves to seek retribution in the minority and anti-minority sentiments becoming widespread. Local government has turned a blind eye to the whole matter and let attacks of retribution be carried out. Many people in Pashtunistan are now calling for severe restrictions to be placed upon the minorities in the nation. Bringing the retribution-seeking attackers to justice will probably not abate the anti-minority sentiments. However, we could falsify an investigation into the rape and claim it was in fact not committed by a minority. Or we can find out maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But this is Pashtunistan, which is probably not a place that Persians live. Where is that? That's over here, yeah. Pashtun may be one of our accepted cultures, though. Is it? It is. Okay. It's Afghanistan. Yeah, of course it is. So if we do this, all pops that are accepted culture are Persian. Which is probably all of them here in most of this place. Let's see. Pashtun, Hazara, I don't know. This, that's accepted culture too. Okay. This might be one of those instances that it would be fine to... Oh, that's there. What about Mashriki? That's like Arab, right? Yep. Okay. Residency. Nobody likes residency right now, so it would not be too bad to skew towards them. But I don't reduce the population. If your residency become... Oh, so they will get residency and militancy. So this would make everybody gain 1 militancy. Or we can uncover the truth and act accordingly. Now what's this do? 25% chance... Oh, 50% chance all pops in Pashtunistan gain 1 militancy. All of them gain a consciousness no matter what. Become 20% more in favor of limited citizenship, which is what we want. 25% chance of everybody who's our culture losing 1 militancy and losing 2 consciousness and becoming more in favor of residency. Anybody who's not our culture gains 2 militancy and 2 consciousness, or a 25% chance of liberal stuff. It's a risky thing. I think we'll do it anyway. 50% chance of something that we would want. Okay, so let's look at our demographics now in Pashtunistan. Again, maybe overthinking this, maybe. It's possible. But... oh, I'm encouraging craftsmen there. So residency is now their primary thing under anti-military, so that apparently backfired a little bit. But pretty much everything I could do there was bad. Talk of war! Well, the Persian Republic is not currently at war. There are those who think it should be. Like some people in the comments, they are ripe for the picking, and the Persian Republic must strike now. While we are strong. They are referring to one of our hated neighbors, who some jingoists feel should be a target for expansion. Permitting such talk will make us look aggressive to the international community, however, though it may be an opportunity of which to take advantage. We can encourage the jingoists. We gain 2 infamy. It's for nothing. We'll lose 10 war exhaustion. We get a CB in generation speed increased. Ooh, 25% is pretty good. But not fast enough to actually generate a CB. Everybody becomes 5% more in favor of jingoism. And Maharashtra, oh, yeah. India gains minus 50 relations with us, and again, humiliate causes belly on us. Say enough of this rebel rousing. Gain 5 war exhaustion. Whatever. Lose that, yeah. More pacifism. Okay, that's fine. Nobody cares about that stuff. We're not doing that right now. Okay. Things seem to be stabilizing. Not quite as well as I was expecting, but I guess they were building something or something. Corpses, recourses. I think we already got this one. So... moralism, secularized. Oh, this is moralism. This is actually a chance to provoke some violence. Oh, we gotta do it, man. We gotta be a pluralistic bro. Got 2 points again. Oh, Russian Empire shot up this high. Oh, because they have lots of prestige. I get it. Yeah. Somehow. Acquire Canton. Acquire Guangxi. This looks wrong to me. I think this is just a vestige of them. Something I didn't change because they didn't exist. I'll probably fix that. They should probably have no prestige. Whatever. It's not something I can worry about right now. That's the kind of thing that you have to think about when you're doing stuff. Military defense and debate. Local election. We want pro-military? Okay. Ooh, that's nice. Of course they do. They need better food. Political campaign. Well, obviously we're going to support the conservatives. Because that is what we want right now. I'm still going to be stuck on that forever. It's not really hurting us right now. Wretched conditions for our soldiers. Yeah. I'll do that. I'm skipping the ones I think we've already gotten. Okay, almost done with medicine. And we win. The Persian people have spoken. So good. I really want to finish some of my railroads at least. But, had so many election things that it looks like we're getting towards a fairly decent stopping point now. Arabia grants extraterritoriality. Some prestige. I think it might be a good time to start focusing some points onto them.